All right, number 13 here. Okay, 13. An art store is having a sale, 30% off all art supplies. They're asking for two things here. They're asking for first the discount, that's like part A, and the new price, that's part B, of a set of oil paints that originally cost $75. So part A is to determine 30% of 75. A couple of ways to do this. You can actually just multiply 30 times 75 or 0.3 times 75. That's kind of option one. The other way is to sort of use some common sense here. 10% of 75 is 750. You're just moving the decimal over.
Mm-hmm.
And 30% is times 3.
Yeah.
So you're going to multiply that number by 3. That might be, I mean, it's the same thing as this, but sometimes you can do this without going over here and doing the long multiplication.
Yeah.
Should get 2250. Discounts are in dollars, so I'm going to give that answer in dollars there.
Right.
So that's the discount, but we actually don't care about the discount most. We actually just care like, what is the new price? The new price is the old price less the discount.
Mm-hmm.
So 75 minus 22.5. Right, that's what you're going to pay. That's what we care about.
So that's the new price. Yeah.
That is the new price. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Get the next one up here shortly. Translate the sentence into an inequality. So we're using your translator on your phone while you're over there, or are you guys fluent in Japanese? What was that like?
Oh yeah, we did have a translating device. We're not fluent at all.
Good. I can't even imagine that. Japan's one of those countries where they really don't speak any English.
Yeah, it's true.
Very different than what we think when we go to other parts of the world. Okay, the product of is multiplication. 5/8 and, so it's 5/8 times something, a number less than or equal to, or number is less than or equal to 15. Okay, so 5/8 times a number, call that x, is less than or equal to. So that's the less than, the or equal to turns it into a less than or equal to 15. So a number is the variable.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many variations on that. I mean, it could be greater than or equal to, at most, at least.
All right.
All right, so for number 15, a couple of ways to do this one. First is to use the slope formula, which we will do. Then we'll talk about the result here, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. Could you do that for us and tell me what you come up with?
So 2 minus 2 over -4 minus 6. So basically we would get well, the fraction is like 0/10, but
right. So what does that mean? In division's a sharing problem. You have nothing to share and 10 people that you want to share with. How much does each person get?
0.
0. Yeah. Now the slope is 0. Horizontal lines always have a slope of 0.
Yeah.
So that's like you almost could have just written the answer. I would have given you credit for that. Maybe you need to share your work. Not sure.
It makes sense.
Okay. Number 16.
Yeah.
All right. So just using your intuition here, is the result larger or smaller than 90?
smaller
So 100% is the same. 100% means
or more, yeah.
the same. So if you go this way, it gets larger. This other way, it gets smaller. All right. So the couple of ways to do this. One is to literally take 90, multiply by 1.1. The other is to figure out what 10% of 90 is, which is 9, and then add that to the original.
Yeah. So that was
Both-
gonna do 90 to
but
90.
yeah, both are acceptable. Both are give you the same result. The one on the right requires you to move the decimal around a bit. Are you comfortable with that, or should we talk about how to do that?
I mean, I'm comfortable with it.
Okay, and I'm just asking, like,
Yeah.
it's not anything more than that. All right, number 17. An orchard sells 4 pounds of apples for $1. Wow, that's actually a very good price. Apples are, it's cheaper
Yeah.
actually get a bottle of soda than an apple right now.
Yeah.
So 4 pounds of apples for $1. Graph the relationship and use this graph to estimate the cost of 4 pounds of apples. Okay, so we might want to make a table. Pounds cost. 4 pounds is $1. 8 pounds would be $2, and so on. What would 0 pounds of apples cost?
$0.
Right. Okay, so to graph the relationship, I don't know how accurate you want to make this, but you're going to go 0, 0, 4, 1, 8, 2. And I don't know how many points you need, but it goes up from there.
Yeah.
Now I know it says to use the graph to estimate it. I'd probably just keep going. Oh, I guess you do have to use, I guess you do. So 5 pounds of apples. I guess they want you to like go up there and see where it hits. You can actually figure it out. So do you normally have to like estimate it, or do you just write an equation and solve it to figure it out?
Do I usually have to estimate the line?
Like where it hits on the line. So you can see it comes up here. Let me draw it again. It comes up, and then it's like you got to go over and figure out like where is it on the y-axis.
Oh, yeah, they usually make us do that.
So it's
Get
about
yeah.
1.25.
Give me 1 sec.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I was just drawing the graph.
Okay. All right, so we're up to 18. I'm going to just snip in part of it. Table shows the ages of players on 2 different hockey teams. Does team A or team B have a greater range? Do you remember the formula for range?
The largest minus the smallest number.
Max minus the min. So the most challenging part of this is to just make sure you actually have each, because there's so many numbers.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can figure that out here. And you're doing it one by one. So of course they're not ever in order. If they're in order, that would be nice. That looks pretty good for
Yeah.
the min. That kind of looks like the max. I always kind of keep scanning just in case. For the other one, 22.
And 40.
Yeah. Any questions on that? Looks like
No.
it's,
Yeah.
excuse me, looks like it's A. A is the winner. All right, 19. Slope and y-intercept, slope and y-intercept, okay. So to do this, you need to solve for y. Do you want to try doing that for me, please? And I'll check your work here in a moment.
Yeah.
Any questions on how to do this?
Well, I got to 7y equals 21. Equals 21 minus 2x.
Okay, so a couple things. It's usually better to put the variable in front. You kind of sneak it up in front of the number.
Yeah.
The reason is because you generally write it as mx plus b, so the x term comes first.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Generally, the way you wrote it isn't wrong. It's just there's like preferences.
Yeah.
All right, so now the next one here, you divide both sides by 7. You're dividing everything by 7. So the way you write the fraction is it's minus 2 divided by 7 times x plus 3. Okay. So if it doesn't divide like the case here, you just leave it as a fraction, a number in front of x.
Yeah.
So the slope is always the number in front of x. The b value is the other number. That's the y-intercept. Can you tell me those two from this, please?
-2/7 is the m, and then 3 is b.
Good. And just like you said, the slope does not include x. It's a number. It tells you what to do. It tells you how to navigate.
Yeah.
All right. So number 20.
But just to be clear, the answer would be y is equal to -2/7.
No, slope. Slope is m. It's asking for two
Oh,
things: slope and the y-intercept.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Denise is selling roses. She sold 3 for 5 and 5 for 7. What will Denise charge for 12 roses? A couple ways to do this. You could write an equation, you could write a proportion. How do you think I guess you probably do need to set it up an equation here. You probably cannot use a proportion on this. So the x in this case, your input is the quantity, and your y is the price. It's like, tell me how many you want, I'll tell you the price. So that's the ordered pair here. It's 3, 5, and then 5, 7 for your two ordered pairs. So can you get the slope of this, please?
Yeah. So -2/-2.
So you did 5 minus 7 over 3 minus 5. Does that seem right?
Yeah.
Okay, that does work. So yeah, it's -2 over -2. What does that reduce to?
1.
1. So the equation here is y equals 1x plus b, and you want to use either ordered pair here to find B.
Mhm.
So this it doesn't matter which one. We'll just use the first one. 5 equals 1 times 3 plus B. 5 equals 3 plus B. B equals 2.
So y equals 1x plus b, and then 5 equals.
So we want to know what Denise charges for 12 roses. So X equals 12 for 12 roses. I'm sorry, B is 2. Let me put that in there.
So sorry, I'm just trying to figure everything out. So we got the slope, and then we just put it in.
Yeah, we want to write the equation of a line here.
And we wanted to find b.
Yes.
So we just solved for b.
Yeah.
Okay. And then and at the beginning of the problem, when we got 3, 5 and
Yes.
7. That's 3.
So it's 3 quantity. That's 3
And then-
roses. X
yeah,
is the number of roses. Y is the price. And that's what I was trying to tell you. Like X is the input. It's like, tell me how many you want. I will. Then the output is I will give you the price.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we do all this setup here to get an equation so that if we want to know how many roses, or if it's like, I guess another version of this question would be like, well, if you have a certain amount of money, how many roses could you buy?
Uh-huh.
But the answer is, just to be clear, the answer is $14.
Yeah.
Okay. Any follow-up to that? Any other thoughts before we move on to something else?
Do you think we could do 19?
Like one other one like 19?
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, give me just a moment here to think of some numbers that work out here. Let's go 4x plus 9y equals 18. So go ahead and solve for y for me, please.
Y equals 18. Divide everything by 9.
Do you have your final answer? You're still working it out.
Yeah, so y is equal to 4x ninths minus 9.
Let's go through this here. Did you first subtract 4x from both sides?
Yeah.
Okay, so I recommend kind of sneaking that up in front. 9y equals minus 4x plus 18. Because 18 is still positive, like that doesn't change. Then you need to divide both sides by 9. But you're dividing all 3 things by 9.
Oh, so it'd be 4x over 9 minus 2.
Minus 4 over 9.
Minus 4 over 9.
Is it clear where that negative is coming from? Subtracting it from both sides?
Yeah.
Okay, because you said it a couple times without it, and that's why I'm asking, make sure you got it, because it's critical. All right, so what is the slope? And what is the y-intercept?
The slope is negative 4 over 9.
Yes. And the y-intercept is
2.
2. Now, sometimes the one is an ordered pair. Not really sure what they want here for you. Do you want me to give you another one like this?
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay. 5x plus 3y equals -6. Go ahead and try this one, please.
Negatives. So y is equal to -5x over 3 plus -2.
Yes. So what would be the slope? What would be the b value?
The slope would be -5x over 3.
The slope is a number, it does not include x.
Oh,
Very important. Yeah, it cannot include, if you write x, they will mark you wrong, even though you're like, look, it's there. It's because it's a number.
uh-huh. Okay. And then b is just 2. -2.
Yes.
I think I get that one now.
Great.
Go on, we can, or depends how much time we have. We can move on to the written practice.
Yeah, I mean, we got 25 minutes, so
Oh,
totally up to you.
Okay.
What we work on,
We can move on to that written practice.
starting at number 1.
I'm pretty sure I did the first. Yeah, I did the first 4, but we can check them.
Okay, so you just want the answers to the first 4? Or do you want me to show the work as well?
Yeah. Or for number 1 or how?
Yeah, it's for number 1 here, the answer is 6√10. Is that what you have?
Yeah, that's what I got. And then for the second one, I got 6√7.
So here's how you check them. And this is how I would check them. Is if I square the first number and multiply it by 7, I should get 252. Now I have the advantage of a calculator, which I'm going to look at here. And that does work. So that is correct. But that's how you check them. If you can do it by hand, you can do it by hand. How about number 3?
I got 8√6.
So your check here is 8 squared times 6, 48 times 6. That looks probably correct. Yeah, that's good. And then for number 4, you said you already did number 4.
I think so. Let me check. Yeah.
Okay.
I just got a x to the 4th plus 25, which I'm not sure.
Yes, you made the classic mistake here. You have to write it out as a binomial times a binomial. You have to write both binomials out, and then you have to FOIL because you're missing the center term, the middle term.
Oh yeah.
So you want to try foiling that for me, please?
Yeah, it's I forgot what it stands for. First
Times the first. O is the outside, so the x squared times the 5.
And then last.
Yeah, and then the last. And the O and the I generally combine.
So
x to the 4th, x squared times x squared is x to the 4th. You add the exponents.
and then you add the outer ones, which is 5x to the 5x squared.
Good. And then you do the last.
Last?
Last. 5 times 5. L stands for last.
And the plus 25.
Yeah. you want to make sure you've multiplied everything in one times everything in the other, like the x squared times what the x squared and the 5 times the x squared and the 5. That's kind of the other way of looking at it.
Okay, okay. So you're essentially, yeah, you're just multiplying the entire.
Yeah.
The entire term by itself. Okay.
All right, so this adds up to x to the 4th plus 10x squared plus 25.
4 plus squared plus 25. Yeah.
All right, so if you feel like you understood that, and I think you do, the next one's easier because it's already written out. There are negatives to consider, like you really want to treat it as -2. You want to look at that one as -2 and that is -9. Why don't you try foiling that and letting me know what you come up with.
Okay. Hello? Oh, sorry.
Let me know when you're back.
Yeah, I'm good. It's just
Okay.
I'm using a different computer, so other calls going. It's -9. So first, outer. Inner, and you're just adding everything?
You can only combine the O and the I generally. So x times x, actually, let me do a different color on that. X times x is x squared.
Yeah.
Is that clear?
Yeah,
And then and then you got x times -9 is -9x.
yeah.
Then you take -2 times x. -2 times -9. Generally combine the two middle ones there, which is the O and the I.
Uh-huh. So x squared plus
Minus 11x.
minus 11x
Yeah.
plus 18. How do we decide what operation is being made when you do the FOIL?
That you're always adding. It's always F plus O plus I plus L. But
Like that negative.
but it could be that, like in this case, -2 times x gives you -2x, and x times -9 gives you -9x. So it's x squared plus -9x plus -2x plus 18. That's a great question. So you're always adding, but sometimes it's negative.
Yeah.
So you're really subtracting.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right. Now, I mean, my recommendation would be to actually have you do a few more of these, but if your goal is to get through this assignment, we probably have to keep going, just because it doesn't seem like the foil is completely clear.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do another one.
Okay. So let's go x plus 3, x minus 2. Go ahead and give that a try, please.
Order 2x inner 3x past. Wait, so what is last? Like the
3,
last of both of them?
yeah, the last of both of them, yeah.
Okay, so -6. So x to this x squared plus
Okay.
x plus -6.
Very good.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
There's a million worksheets on that on the internet.
Yeah.
So go out there if you're ever unsure, or we can do more tomorrow if we need to, but let's keep going here. It says to graph the inequality C greater than or equal to -5. Again, that first one is the greater than. And then the line underneath means the or equal to.
Yeah.
And that corresponds to a filled in circle on the number line. So I always choose my point right in the middle. You don't have to put 0 in. You can actually just put that point wherever you want. Do you remember if you're shading to the left or to the right of this point based on this symbol?
Greater than or equal to. So to the right.
Yes. So these two symbols mean to the right, and then the other two symbols mean to the left.
And it's filled in because it's or equal to.
Yes. So that's kind of another one here. If it's less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, that's a filled in bubble. If it's less than or greater than, it's a not filled in bubble.
It's oh, okay. Yeah, I bet. I was just drawing it wrong.
Okay. Any questions on that before we move on to 7?
No.
Okay. Justify.
Okay. Explain how you find the least common multiple of 2x minus 5 to the third power and 3x minus 5 to the seventh power.
Do you want me to explain, or do you have any idea how to start here?
Like I know finding the least common multiple of ones that aren't in that format, like or how
Let's just say it was 2 and 3. How would you find the least common multiple of that?
well, if it was 2 and 3, then just like seeing the multiples like 6 or something.
Right. So like 6, do you agree that it's 6?
Yes.
Okay. And the what that's the number part of that. I figured that would be okay. Now we're looking at cubed and 7th. It's kind of the same idea, but you don't want to be writing them. It's like x minus 5 to the power of 1, x minus 5 to the power of 2.
Yeah.
And you keep going here, but you just choose the larger one, the larger exponent. So it's 6x minus 5 to the 7th. So that may be the words they're looking for, is like choose larger exponent.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Least common multiple. So
Yes.
okay. It kind of makes sense.
And there's a few of these, there's least common multiple, least common divisor. There's a few other things here. Greatest common factor. They kind of are on the same general category, but they're a little bit different each time.
Yeah.
Do you want me to give you another one like that, or you want to just move on to 8?
Yeah, let's do another one like that.
Okay.
So 3 and 5, these come multiples. 15. And then x minus 4 to the 5th, and or x minus 4 in the parentheses, and then to the 5th power.
Yes. Okay, sounds like you got it.
Yeah, I just didn't really understand like why, but
Why? That is a challenging question to answer.
yeah,
So, but the what we can answer here. The least one means the smallest one. So like here is one that is not the least. This is just a common multiple. Why would
yeah,
it be a common multiple? And it has to be this right here.
because they both have that multiple of 30, but it's not the
Not the least.
least one.
Yeah. And so here's another one that's just a common multiple.
Because of those 6.
Yeah, it's an extra power.
Okay. Yeah, I get it now.
And I'm bad. I sometimes say the wrong one, explain the wrong one in context of problems. So it's not a, it's because the language in math is you gotta be, it's like sometimes it doesn't always sync up with what we
I
like in
didn't know
real
you have
life.
to explain it for number 7.
Yeah, explaining should be done from the teacher to the student, not the student to the teacher. All right, the key of a stem and leaf plot shows that 2 vertical line 9 equals 2.9. So do you see that the 2 means the number left of the decimal, 9 is the number to the right?
Yeah.
So now what they're asking about is with a leaf of 4 and a stem of 7. So they they skipped. Why have they done this? So I believe it's stem, vertical line, leaf. And then I'm
Yeah.
thinking stem, leaf.
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't know. They give it to you backwards because they're difficult. Oops, that's completely wrong. 7.4.
What is the data for leaf? Oh, okay. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, the next one here. This is it's not great. Are the numbers at least in order? Nope. All right. Okay, so the way to do this here is you have to put the numbers in order, and then you also have to decide what to make the stems and the leaves.
I mean, just all the.
So you generally only are allowed one letter on the leaf. So that's going to be the second decimal place. So like the 204.3 would be like this. It would be like 204 and then a 3. The 20.32 would be 203 and then a 2. So the way you'll see me do this is we will come back and reorganize it. So 20.39 is 203 with a 9. We'll come back and change it. 206 with a 7.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward, and
Okay.
I don't have this due anytime soon. So if you want, we'll just come back to that later.
Yeah,
You can have some
absolutely.
problems that I struggle with. Let's look at 10.
You're very polite. You could just say, Matthew, move on. I don't need help with that. I appreciate it though. Okay, the cost of parking at a concert is $22. Oh, you missed the Taylor Swift concert. You were out of town. That was kind of a big deal in Arizona. Yeah. I mean, no, I didn't go, but everybody I heard, I saw everybody went, it seemed like,
Yeah.
and it's, I think she was in Las Vegas too. So some people even flew up there to do that. Cost of parking at a concert is $22 for the first 2 hours. It sounds more like the airport, and $4 for each additional hour. Write an equation that models the total cost Y of parking a car in terms of the number of additional hours X. Okay, so what they're really saying here is that X represents the like additional hours. So you got to be careful here. It's like if X equals 0, that means that you've been there 2 hours. And X equals 1 means that you've been there 3 hours.
Like,
All right, so write an equation that models the total cost. So this is the fixed, like the one-time cost plus the variable cost. What do you think here for this?
like 20, 22 plus
What does each extra hour cost you?
$4.
So that's
But
4x. What is your what do you feel like is not
like for the
right?
first 2 hours, like like in the equation,
Right.
how
So
do you know that in the first 2 hours you're not getting charged?
that's
$4?
a good question. It says here explicitly that it's supposed to be additional hours.
Oh,
It's not real time. Like you're thinking of real time, like most normal people think of it. It's not that. It's additional hours is what this is in.
okay. I I should have just read that.
Yeah, it's a little awkward though. Because there's another way you can write this equation where, and you just haven't seen that yet. It's called piecewise, and you can do it where you just give it the number of hours you're there rather than this awkward way of doing it. All right, so that's your equation. Now you got to find the total cost for 9 hours. But is that 9 hours or 9 additional hours? Is it 9 hours on the right, or is it 9 additional hours?
Seems like just 9 hours.
Yes,
So minus the 2 hours,
yes.
so like 21, like extra.
So X is 7. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So you put 7 in for X. Y equals 22 plus 4 times 7.
Oh, okay. So 43.
Try again. 4 times 7 is
Oh, 28.
28. So it's 22 plus 28, which
50.
is 50.
I thought 21 for some reason.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Two students attempted to write an inverse variation equation relating x and y when x was equal to 5 and y was equal to 10. Which student is correct? Explain the error.
The one on the right is called direct variation. It's always y equals kx. The one on the left is inverse y equals k over x. So you want to know both of these. Sometimes they ask you to actually write out direct and inverse variation.
Uh-huh. Right, in the inverse variation.
These are definitions. Like these are things you have to know before you can even try to do this problem. And it's just asking you which one is inverse, and it's the one on the left,
Yeah.
because the variable's on the bottom. On the right, the variable is, I don't know, normal, we'll say. Variable on bottom.
Yeah, and just because it's one's division, one's multiplication.
That's right.
Okay.
But it's the variable that matters. Like if it were y equals 1 over 50 times x, this is still direct variation because x is up in the numerator. It's not dividing by x.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want us to look at tonight? We got like 2 minutes.
Well, if we really want to get everything out of it, we can go back to 7
Okay.
real quick.
Yep.
Just
Yeah, so it is a hard stop for me because I got to take a break here, but 20.68 is 2068.
oh wait, no, that's 9. I'm pretty sure.
Sorry. Yeah, let me go back. All right, so you said 7.
Yeah, that's just
Oh.
the one. Yeah,
You mean just to give you another one of these?
yeah.
Okay. All right, so we got I don't know, 2x plus 1 squared, and then 7x plus 1 cubed.
Plus 1 squared, 7 x plus 1 cubed.
You have an answer for me?
Yeah, yes. 14 and then x plus 1 to the 3rd power.
Good. All right, we do have to stop here
Yeah.
for today. We do have another